Welcome to my channel. In this video I will show you the global version, the original, brand new top 5 best-selling graphics card in 2025, product on Aliexpress, with discount price. Check discount price and buy from description below link. A fresh new stack of leaks has just dropped about the next generation of AMD Radeon GPUs, and they point to an extremely powerful graphics card at the top end that's at least 50% more powerful than the Radeon RX 9070 XT, and could take on the future RTX 6080 from NVIDIA. At the moment, AMD has no product to compete with NVIDIA when it comes to high-end GPUs, but it looks as though the company is planning an all-out assault with its next generation of RDNA 5 graphics cards. This isn't the first time we've seen rumors about a new high-end AMD GPU, with a previous leak pointing to the Radeon RX 10090 XT, or whatever it ends up being called, potentially being able to take on the RTX 5090. This latest rumor tones down the adrenaline a bit, but there's a good chance this new GPU could unseat the RTX 5080 in our guide to buying the best graphics card, if this rumor is true. This latest leak comes from Keepler2Lira on the Anantic forums, who has forum for AMD GPU leaks, having correctly leaked the number of compute units, the amount of memory, and the amount of infinity cache of the top-end RDNA 4 GPU, which we now know as the 9070 XT, back in December 2024. This time, Keepler2Lira has shared some block diagrams that show 4 new AMD GPUs, with the top-end model having some seriously powerful specs. I've shared this diagram below, and it shows a GPU that's packed with 96 compute units, CUs, which are the basic building blocks of AMD GPUs, containing the stream processors, RT cores for ray tracing, and AI cores. As a point of comparison, the Radeon RX 9070 XT only has 64 compute units, and still gives the RTX 5070 Ti a run for its money. So this GPU looks set to be at least 50% more powerful, and probably more, because there's rumored to be a 10% increase in rendering performance between like-for-like RDNA 4 and RDNA 5 GPUs. Each set of 6 compute units has a render backend, RB, while the graphics command processor, GCP, hardware scheduler, HWS, and 2 cache sit in the middle. The whole lot is also surrounded by a total of 16 unified memory controllers, UMCs, and if these are each 32-bit, then we could be looking at a super wide 512-bit memory interface in total, as used on the RTX 5090 today. That easily gives AMD the scope to equip this graphics card with 32 GB of memory, or even 48 GB using 3 GB chips, with very high bandwidth, depending on the speed and type of memory used. According to the earlier leak linked above, AMD is splitting its RDNA 5 lineup into several tiers, all of which start with AT, which stands for Alpha Trion. This chip looks like it could be the AT0 model that sits at the top, while the other block diagrams leaked by Keepler2Lira could refer to the cheaper AT2, AT3, and AT4 models. Assuming that's the case, AT2 would correspond with the next block diagram down, which instead organizes compute units into blocks of 5 per render backend, rather than 6. This diagram shows a total of 40 compute units, along with 6 memory controllers, implying a 192-bit bus. This spec would put it in between the Radeon RX 9060 XT 32 CUs and Radeon RX 9070 56 CUs, suggesting that AMD is looking to provide a GPU between the traditional budget and mid-range options with this generation. Below this is a diagram of a GPU that only has 24 compute units, which could be AT3, GPUs, are set to become the first gaming graphics cards, spun out of the Intel ZHPG yarn, something that is promised to be the basis for many more competitive GPUs from the chip-making Goliath. Alchemist also happens to be the first offering from Intel's high-performance graphics brand, Arc, which covers hardware, software, and services. It's all set to kick off at the start of next year, when we'll see Intel put its best foot forward, in hopes to heave open the hydraulic grip of NVIDIA and AMD over gaming GPUs. There are 2 key battles in PC gaming hardware: Intel versus AMD and AMD versus NVIDIA. It's been that way for millennia, or a handful of decades, at least. Yet that could be all about to change with Intel Alchemist and the ZHPG architecture. Intel will be hoping to claim a stake of a market historically split between the red and green teams, and with it a share of the mammoth profits on offer from gaming GPUs. These choices may be out of date. All of these products may not be in stores. We don't know when this will be back in stock. You need to go Best Graphics Card in 2025 review link to see the most recent updates to the list. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel.